Hi, everyone. I wanted to jump on and give you a few updates about my journey to the Certified Six Sigma Green Belt. If you remember from previous videos, I had done some LinkedIn learning to learn some of the material for the Green Belt test, and I had taken a couple of practice tests and failed miserably on those. Well, since then, I took the practice test 2 more times. So with ASQ, you can purchase the question bank and they give you 3 practice tests. And with those practice tests, you can do it where you review one section at a time, where it's in review mode, and you can do the question and then get the answer, whether you were right or wrong, or you can do it like a real test and have it timed. But you have 3 different 100 question tests that you can practice with. So I did that about 4 times between the 3 different tests, maybe more than that, really. And I used that to figure out what I didn't know, so I knew what to study, and then also use it as a way to study. So I would, look at the questions, see whether I got it right or wrong. If I got it wrong, then I would look up to see, why I got it wrong, to help understand the material a little bit more. And because the test is open book, I wanted to make sure that I could find the information that I needed within the book. So I was taking notes in the books and highlighting in the book, which is totally approved by ASQ. For the actual test, you just can't have any loose papers or stapled papers, but you can use any bound book and a non-scientific or non-programmable calculator. So I did take notes in the book and spent time learning where I could find the information, since it was an open book test. So I did that. And with the time test, prior to me taking the actual test, the highest I got was like mid-70s%. So I was super nervous. I felt super unprepared, even though I had studied for 6 weeks for the test, because I just didn't feel like I had used the material enough to really understand all of the concepts. In the LinkedIn Learning course and in the ASQ book, a lot of the examples that they give are manufacturing examples. And so I was trying to relate it to healthcare so that it would make it more understandable for me. And since I haven't been in a situation where I've used the Greenbelt material from start to finish, some of it was hard for me to conceptualize. So moving forward, I would hope to be able to put the information that I learned into practice, so that it just makes more sense and I'm able to use it. Usually before certifications, when people ask me, when should I get a certification, or do I need it for this job and things like that, I recommend that they are in the field and have used some of the material before actually taking the certification. So I've been in healthcare quality for a decade now, but hadn't used the Greenbelt material specifically. And taking this test now makes me realize that the advice that I have been given, I still believe in that advice. And the reason that I decided to take this test without having the amount of knowledge that I would have liked to have is because the director at my current job wanted us to get the certification. So I hadn't yet had the opportunity to do that. So all that to say, I still recommend that you have some sort of real life practical experience with this material before you take the test. But if not, you can still study, take the test. You might be a good test taker. You might feel super comfortable with the material. That's just what I recommend. So I did take the test yesterday, actually, and it's a 4.5-hour test. It is 110 questions, so 10 of the questions are not graded. You don't know which 10 they are. And the interesting thing is, I didn't think that, I was like, how would you need 4.5 hours to take this test? But let me tell you, I took almost every minute of that test, because I was looking up the answers in the book. I was doing the calculations and all of that. And it took me the whole time. And right when it got towards the end, I think I had about 20 minutes or so left, and I was on question 95. And I was thinking, okay, I only have 5 more questions. I'm going to be good. I'm going to finish. And then I realized that I needed to go to question 110, and I started freaking out. I didn't think I was going to get all the questions done. I thought it was just going to be a fail just because I didn't get to finish all of the questions on the test. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I finished all 110 questions, and I had flagged some questions so that I could go back to them, but I really didn't have time to go back to them at the end because I literally had like 2 minutes left when I hit the submit button. The good thing about the ASQ test, and they do it through Prometric, which is their testing center, and I was able to do it remotely, which when you do it remotely, they still monitor you to make sure that you take the test with integrity. They use your laptop or your computer, whatever you're using, to scan the room to make sure you don't have any extra materials that you're not supposed to have, to make sure you're in the room by yourself, you know, all of that good stuff. So it is, you could take it at the testing center, or you could take it, you know, remotely from home if you choose to do so. But the good thing about the ASQ test, and as they do it through Prometric, is that you get your results immediately after you press the submit button, which can be nerve-wracking, let me tell you. But I am pleased to tell you I did pass the test. I am super excited, super thankful, because I was so nervous. I didn't feel like I was going to do well at all because I had never made a passing score on the practice test. And even though it was open book, you would think, oh, well, that would be easier. But for me, it was still a challenging test. The other thing I did to study, just to let you all know, is I made some flashcards, and my husband helped me to, you know, study some of the definitions and stuff. So that's another study thing that I did that I forgot to tell y'all. But I did pass the test. I am very pleased to say that I am now a certified Six Sigma Green Belt, and I want to be able to use the material in the future so that I can learn to put it into real life practice. So this is my journey over the last few videos. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have questions, you can put it down in the comments below, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Talk soon.